Ooh, what's up friends, Nav here with another video for you today, bringing you yet another episode of how to get better at CSGO. Today we are going to be focusing on tapping versus spraying. So in CS, when you're playing, you have a couple different ways of attacking the enemy when you have your rifle. You can tap them or spray them, as the title would suggest. Tapping, of course, is just sort of methodically tapping down, whereas spraying is pressing mouse 1 and holding it. I mean, it kind of speaks for itself, right? So what I want to talk about is the difference between the two and when they're useful and when you should probably stick to one or the other. Now, I'm going to preface this by saying this is all based on your own sort of preferences. Obviously, if you're a spray god, you can always spray if you really want to, even from far distances. If you're a tapping god, you might as well go for it. But just generally speaking, in my opinion, in the time that I played Counter-Strike, long distance battles, you want to stay away from spraying. Short distance, you typically want to stay away from tapping. And here's why. And it will make sense, and it should. If you're from far distance, now if you're close up, spraying, very easy to control. It gets you a nice sort of close, I don't know what the word would be for that, but it gets all your shots relatively close to each other. Now watch the difference between spraying from that close and spraying from this far. Now, I'm not the best sprayer, but you see how my sort of bullets went everywhere. You could see them. There were some up here, there were some up there, down there. I did get the kill. That was by sheer luck, I have a feeling. But that's why you want to stay away from spraying at long distances, because you're going to rely on luck 9 times out of 10 to get that kill. Unless you can spray from this far away and keep your shoot, I can't think of the word. Keep your bullets in sort of a circle like that where it's really tight and really close. Usually you want to stay away from spraying from far distances. Now you saw how you know, crazy the spray pattern was when I sprayed. Now watch if I just see, we keep it close. Now I'm not getting the kills because I suck at CSGO, but you see the difference. I'm keeping all the bullets are going basically where I want them to go, and instead of just crazy wildly spraying, you know, I have some semblance of control over it. Now going on to spraying. Let's say you've got a close situation like this. If the enemy is going to be holding mouse 1 and spraying you down, see how fast I just released those bullets? Now, if you come around the corner, you're in a close quarters combat and you're trying to tap these guys down. Now, if you have an AK, it might work out in your favor. You get one shot headshot, tap over the next guy, and tap again. But generally speaking, the close quarters is where you're going to want to have the spray going down, because if you go from one guy, you can just transfer right over to the other without having to lose any time, you know, switching over and then continuing to tap. And it's just something like I said, it's something that's all personal preference. It's not something that is set in stone, not one way or the other, like this is the way you have to do it. But to me, this is how it makes sense, and this is how I enjoy playing the game, and how I find that I get the most success out of the 1v1s that I get into, is staying away from tapping in close ranges and staying away from spraying in long range. Now, of course, there's about an infinite number of situations you could find yourself in Counter-Strike, so there's going to be a different answer for every situation. Some might feel better to you. The more you play, the more you'll get to know these situations and understand your own personal game better. Maybe you're not as good of a tapper, or you're not as good of a sprayer as the other one, so you might want to use the better of the two. There is a way to get better at spraying, and we're going to go into that right now. Change level, oh my, recoil, it's too late for me to be doing this. Recoil Master. You can download this map, it's called Recoil Master. You can download off the Steam Marketplace, and what it does is it allows you to come into here and practice the recoil of your weapon. You can pick any weapon you want, and it'll allow you to sort of see the spray pattern, and then it'll allow you to trace it down and follow it. As you'll see right here, we're going to hop into this server. It doesn't matter what, okay. So it doesn't matter what we're in. You come here, and just for the sake of it, banner sword kick. Alright, just for the sake of it, so I have plenty of time, I'm going to run my DM thing. So, here's what you do. Basically, you're going to hit movement lock. This locks you in place. And then as soon as you start, it'll show you the pattern, and your job is to follow it. So the basic thing here is you're supposed to keep your crosshair on the red dot, and the red dot traces perfectly the spray pattern for whatever weapon you're using. So like I said, you can use really any weapon you want. If you really wanted to use the Bison, you could. Now, I don't know why you would ever want to do that. It doesn't really seem to be worth it to me. But like I said, anything you want to use, it'll teach you. And so this is useful. You come in here, you learn the spray patterns. And if you just come in here and do it, eventually you'll get that muscle memory of pulling down, when to pull down, which ways to go, and stuff like that. So that's just a little help for you if you're not so good at spraying. Just something to do. Again, you can get this on the Steam Marketplace. You just have to look in the CSGO Workshop, and you'll find it. And it's super useful. You just come in here and do this a whole bunch. Eventually you'll learn it. But also, going in game, doing that way also works as well. So anyway, guys, that is this episode of how to get better at CSGO. We talked about spraying versus tapping. Basically, it comes down to a lot of practice, like everything else does in this game. And it's really preference based. I'm not going to tell you that there's one best way to do it. But for me, tapping at long range, spraying at close range, I think is sort of the generally accepted way of doing it. But it's up to you. You figure out which way you want to do it, and see where it takes you. Maybe you'll have some different results than I did. Anyway, guys, that was this episode of How to Get Better at CSGO. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you have been enjoying this series and that these have been useful to you. I will see you in the next episode. I'm out. Peace.